Welcome everyone to Electronic Talks podcast. I'm your host Johannes, and today we have two very special guests from the group Mondo Village, JP and Martin. Welcome.
Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
How are you guys doing?
Feeling great to be here, actually. Waiting for this opportunity for a long time, since we talked like almost a year ago.
Yes. It was such a great memory seeing you playing live outdoors last summer.
Yeah.
And now we're here again. Beautiful summer season, and you have tons of gigs lined up and exciting things in the works. So
yeah, that's true.
Very nice.
Yeah, so like, I don't know, like since the start, gigs have been like coming naturally, and now we've been working on a production, so we hope that it's gonna come soon. We all have been working hard on it, so yeah, very happy about it.
Yeah, not to overstate or anything, but coming soon, realistically speaking.
That's very, very good to hear.
Yeah.
Maybe we can go a little bit back to the start, though. It would be nice to hear like how you guys kind of started your collaboration and where you were before that. Maybe individually, like where did you start with music, and how did you get into electronic music in particular?
Do you want to
Yeah, sure.
go first?
Well, I listen to a lot of different music styles, and I've been to jazz, rock, metal, and at some point in Chile, like I started getting into it. I had another band, a duo, but then when I came to Stockholm, I had a pause, and then it naturally came back, and I was like, yeah, maybe I want to do it again. And in the meantime, I discovered this place where they do like an ecstatic dance, we can say, which is called free flow. And my first or second day there, I just see like this drummer playing, and I was like instantly, I need to play with this guy. And basically after that, it started like a natural friendship. We discovered we could talk about any kinds of music. And then, yeah, like it was like at some point we should work together. And also then it came Malik as well, the third member, which also we sort of met in a party. And also it was very natural, like, hey, like we like the same kind of music and we should work together. So that's how it started, sort of very natural, very natural.
Yeah, I mean, I remember at the point where you two actually approached me about working together, it didn't really feel like a thing at all. It was just like, yeah, well, of course, we kind of are already, you know?
Yeah.
It's it was just like a official formal invitation at the point where we had
started played together already.
Yeah. All sorts of things had already happened, and it was like, yeah, it was already there. And we just kind of spoke it out loud at some points, and then it was like, okay, well, let's go for that.
And the idea was like people from different places that collaborate in music, so we can do like a musical journey, but also coming from our backgrounds that are different. So the idea is that our differences like make us stronger, like make us unite in different ways. Because we are different people, we think differently, we have our different method works, we do different things in our daily life, and that marks, but always in a good way. I think that makes us like very special, and it shows in the gigs. Like we had a lot of fun in the gigs. That's something that I think people see, hopefully, because like I'm just laughing all the time, like on the gigs.
I think I felt that too. Like when I first saw you guys play, live or DJ, it's just like very good energy, and that's what attracts me to like good gigs and DJ sets. So that's what I always looking for. So I think you really have that when you play together. So that's a super good sign, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's really nice to hear, and I feel the same way. I feel like it's there's a very communal feeling going on when we play.
Yeah,
it's like being at the party at the same time as providing the music for the party. I haven't really felt that with any other project I've been involved in. And, yeah.
It's nice, like, for example, we can do like nice mix or like the styles that we play, which vary over time as well. But what I most remember of the gigs is when I play a certain song and JP like just hears it, and like we all look at each other and like, oh yeah, this song or this thing, or I surprised you there, or like, hey, like the music is gonna go down. We have different signals that we are with the hands, and like, yeah.
Could you tell me a little bit about the setup when you actually play together?
I mean, like for me coming into this, I've been a session musician for a long time, like since late teenage. So being asked to do something kind of specific and specialized to a specific thing has become very normal for me over the years. And this time it really felt like, okay, the thing that I was asked to do was add an extra dimension to the music we all love.
Yeah.
And make people dance even more, essentially. And for me, that's what I really feel the live instrumentation brings to the table.
Yeah.
And we never really decided it, but we kind of did. We kind of decided that we are not going to rehearse too much. You know, like we essentially never do. We might send a few tracks to each other just to show a direction or something. But other than that, it's, you know, throwing
like
tracks at me. Yeah, jamming. Like I get tracks thrown at me from the DJ booth and I react, you know.
Exactly. And
That's
like,
nice.
sometimes I even want to surprise JP. Like, hey, how are you going to react to this one? It's like, and then like, of course, JP does the percussions, but
Right.
also singing.
Yeah.
And also, like, the idea is that we shape things differently every time. Like, we have, like, a setup, but that doesn't have to be the same way every time. I have played instruments sometimes.
Right.
Like, Malik has done singing as well, rapping. Like, it can be anything that we feel at the moment.
Yeah.
That we can talk through before, hey, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that. And like we never set up for anything like there. And the surprises have been like that. Like some of the hits started like that. One of our productions actually started
That's
with
true.
JP coming to me in a gig, and he was like, hey, I want to try this. I was like, yeah, let's try it with a song that like a song that I had in my list, and then we started making a beat for that. And like,
Really?
Yeah, it's funny. I hadn't thought about that for a while.
yeah,
But yeah, one of the tracks it's now going to post-production. So one of the tracks that we've been playing for crowds for a little while and that we're putting on our first release is a cover version of an old hippie classic. So Somebody's
Okay.
Love, Jefferson Airplane.
Wow, nice.
In fact, it wasn't even their original either. They
No,
did
no,
a cover,
no,
but
no.
it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
matter. But yeah, it genuinely was a spontaneous idea during a gig where we'd been experimenting more and more with some vocals and vocal stingers and little announcements and little stuff like this to give more dynamic to the show.
All the different things in different languages. Yeah,
Right.
Like,
And suddenly this idea pops up in the middle of a set at like a pretty chill venue.
yeah,
And yeah, we just tried it. We got a bit of a reaction. So after that, it was, yeah. I like the step to actually making our own music for it and realizing, okay, we can make our own cover version of this
Right.
was also very natural.
yeah.
So was that the first track when you realized this that you started working on, or how did
It
it?
was the first one with singing, with an actual singing involved, because like we haven't sort of planned anything in that sense, because normally electronic projects are more like instrumental.
Yeah.
And if they have vocals, they use samples, but doing the singing part is more like band. So
Right.
actually, when people ask me, "What do you have a band?" or it's like, and I'm not exactly what to say, musical project.
Mhm,
But that's the idea that it's liquid. It changes. It changes all the time.
Yep.
And from that we have had like some other tracks in the works. That was like the third one. And from that we have 3 tracks in this EP that we're working on.
Yeah.
But now we have like even more ideas. I started studying music production as well. So like everything is like has been also like a school, like a development of each of us in our own weaknesses. Like for example, I'm more like the back like more not in the front, but I've learned from Malik and JP to be more in the front. And I think I've been more like the organizational part, and I think like they have learned that as well. So like we are always complementing each other. That's the thing of having this musical project as well.
Definitely.
That's nice.
I just actually remembered that it's like you said, I started producing a couple of beats for our shows because at that time I was the only one doing that.
Right.
And it was kind of like trying to find this undefined sound that you guys were showing me, and that was happening with the combination of the live drums and the beats that Martin and Malik chose. And it started kind of showing me some kind of direction. So there was these 2 prototype beats that actually worked on for months, and they kind of just changed over time, bit by bit.
And
like
then, in the live sets?
Yeah. And I noticed like with certain changes, you guys started playing them more. That's when I was like, okay, so we're on to something. And then it's after we had a night together at Slakthuset with Jahala Records. It's after that the beats for Somebody to Love started getting made proper.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, meeting these people as well, Iyad from there, we work very closely with now. And I remember feeling that night, like, okay, we're definitely going to work with these guys again. Like, I just knew it immediately. And a couple of weeks later, we're talking about more gigs. And when Iyad heard that kind of prototype idea with just the lyrics on top of a random beat that you were, I think, you were playing. He asked if that was one of our own tracks. And our answer at that moment was basically like, well, we'll make you one, like.
Why not?
And that's when it really started becoming clear that, okay, so if we produce together with all our tastes, like, and everybody kind of having a veto right on everything. So even if it's one of us making a lot of the beat, it'll be like sent back and forth until everybody agrees that it's, fire.
Yeah. The idea is the exchange of ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here we are. I mean, now I feel like this EP that's going to come is very, very reflective of where we are in our aesthetics, and that old classic of you make something because you feel something might be missing in the entire scene that you're working in, exactly that sound that you feel like is missing. It's up to you to kind of make that happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I think in the tracks that we have like our little distinctive sound, and it feels right actually. And it goes well with the other tracks that we always try to get, and we always try to get new tracks as well. Like, so if you go to each of our concerts, you will hear always something different. That's the main idea.
Yeah. Is there a way you could describe the sound, or is it hard to pin down?
I mean, like our own sound?
Yes, your sound.
I mean, I think of it very much as folk music with electronic beats.
Yeah.
That's as simple as I can put it. But then it also gets put through this collective lens where, everybody's input adds or takes something away. And then it finds this actual shape that it's going to have. And
it's not calm. I can tell you, it's not calm.
So it's very upbeat, like kind of like your shows, I guess.
Yeah, like
yeah.
not super fast,
Mm-hmm.
but it moves.
Yeah, weirdly
very
enough.
rhythmic. Yeah,
And it feels like this BPM range that we're working in right now is kind of underrepresented.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, none of the beats feel slow.
I see.
It's,
Whereabouts
it's
are you usually?
Lands on
Do you
like
prefer to be?
115 to 120,
Yeah.
which
Like,
is
a lot of we were talking about this even today, like that there's the down tempo that is where I started, like which is 90 or 100, 105 BPMs, and then there's this other world which is house techno, 120 up, and there's this gap in between which has like so much to give, which is more like a maybe indie dance, but there is where we go most, and we like to do sets, and also personally I like it to do these sets that start slow and build up. And we started in Corona actually.
Okay.
And then in that moment we started, we got some gigs, and it was like, yeah, but it's from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Right.
so 50-person limit.
Yeah, so it cannot be like super, you cannot, no. Like it
Very
be a lot
intimate,
of
very early evening vibe.
Exactly. So we always started like 90 or even less, and the first gigs we finished at 106, and then we started slowly, even one gig after the other. It was like a bit more up tempo, and now we adapt to the vibe of the place we're playing, and the time we have done like very chill and also very only upbeat. Started at more than 120 as well. Yeah.
What would you say some of the the highlight moments from the last year for you guys? Like, would it be the label night, or what's the memories you have of developing your style together, working together?
I mean, my most recent one actually is when Martin sent me his first draft of the first production that he's made by himself. That was a real wow moment for me, I gotta say. It's like, yeah, but I mean, I'm a picky guy,
Right.
I care about details. And like I told you, it was like one of the best first attempts I've ever heard. And I kind of knew that since you have a sense of aesthetics, it would be something good. But I didn't really have any expectations either.
Right.
So I was really happy when it made me actually want to dance and okay, get interested in the narrative of the music. And I was like, okay, this is really going somewhere. That's the latest one I can remember. Really, that was a big one for me.
Yeah, it has been as I said before, like a development for all of us.
Yeah.
And yeah, for me has been the natural wave of gigs that has come, very naturally. And in every place that we have played, every time our first gigs in a new place is very special.
Yeah.
And also, I've liked a lot when we have done collaborations live with other musicians. We began playing with Nasiri, multi-instrumentalist that has played with us several times, and we did a show in Slack Tuesday that was very good. The whole night was high vibe. Also, the people made a very good vibe there.
Nice.
I felt it the whole night, and that's the thing. We are very thankful for the people that follow us and make Mondo Village what it is, because
100%.
As we always speak, the idea is to build a community, and it's not we are the people playing, but the people that go and dance, that share. You can see the difference in the vibe. The people that take care of the sound, visuals, the bookers, everyone. We're super thankful, and every time it's a pleasure to play and to have fun. Basically, I have lots of fun. If not, I wouldn't do this. Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, laughing all the time, whatever happens in the set, it's and support each other as brothers. Yeah.
Was that the vision from the beginning? I'm thinking also like of the origin that the name fits with this whole concept in a sense, right?
I think it's very much a question of the name grew into it organically because it was like that. It felt like that already. It felt like, like you said, community, brotherhood, mutual support, and mutual inspiration. You know? The name kind of grew out of us just having fun one day talking about those concepts, literally. And then suddenly 2 words that actually really sound like, they ring true, and they feel good to say.
We had a very nice gig in Frihamnstorget, this outdoor place, and after I had to leave before, but then I remember JP calls me and like, I've been talking with Malek and we think, what do you think of Mondo Village? And I was like, I love it instantly. Like, you guys nailed it.
Very nice.
Yeah, I could feel it with those, and like with the choice of Mondo as well, like straight Latin. It felt like the way to go with this. It also had this, I don't know, personally I thought it sounded kind of humorous. It sounds almost like something the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Mondo Village, man. It was perfect.
Yeah, but you like mixing languages and, you know, cultural references, right?
Mixing everything, really. You know?
Everything, like if it makes us like enjoy, like that it doesn't have to be that serious, like, like because it doesn't have to be like we want to have that humorous, joyful vibe within each other and with the public, with everyone. Like,
I mean, we're human beings. We're ridiculous creatures. You know, it's when we start taking ourselves too seriously when things really start going wrong. So it's
very true
good
and
to
very
keep it on that
important,
level.
especially for a dance floor. You know, like you don't want everybody to take everything too seriously. It has to be joyful.
It's not the moment.
No, exactly. There's other times and places to be serious.
Yeah,
very much so.
Yeah.
And to go back to the production though, like where are you guys? You said you're in post-production. Like, what's the plan with the first EP?
Yeah, so I mean, again, we kind of started in this staggered rhythm because I was already deep into beat production at the time when we started, and we kind of realized that like if we want to try our new ideas on a crowd, on a big sound system, we'll need to make some kind of simulated master of the track, so that it's loud and big enough. And that's what we've been doing up until this point.
I see. So like demo versions or first?
Pretty much, you know, like a kind of signal boosted final mix.
So we do like we do a test and then like we test it in the dance floor. And it's like, okay, it worked, it didn't work, or how does this mix into another song or from another song? Because they need to be like DJ friendly.
Exactly.
And how it goes with the lives. As well. What can we play over? So
everything has been developed that way, where we've really tested every idea out in the field, so to speak. And now when us and the label that we're working with started feeling like, okay, the narrative's in place, the sound balance is in place, like the response that we're getting for the tracks is consistent. That's when we started thinking about, okay, so which ones do we actually pick to put out first, and which ideas do we put all the gunpowder into? And so now it's these 3 that have been tested for months actually now.
Wow.
Which is I think like such an excellent thing, because now we're in this rhythm where every new idea we have is also thrown into the mixes directly. And we can try it out in the field
very fast.
And it's great. It's a very it's a really satisfying way of working, because again, you get this direct feedback every time you try a new idea.
We got into a point that we are more relaxed. I think in the first gigs I was personally like more nervous, like choosing more the tracks, being more not picky, but like like just hesitating more. And now I'm like, okay, let's just try them. Like, it's gonna be good. The energy we're giving is the most important. So we test everything. Yeah, and it usually works. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, I don't know if I can remember any time where I feel like something has really crashed and burned. It's just been like, okay, this is consistently very good. And this has also like been such a lovely way of finding a lot of new music together with you guys, because it's led me to a lot of avenues that I wouldn't normally explore.
Where would you say you came from before this collaboration, like musically? Yeah.
I've done a bit of everything. I mean, I've been a session musician for a very long time now. So
it's kind of a new
very
exploration.
Mixed bag. Yeah, I mean, electronic music and just beats in general has been like a passion and I would say like a hobby of mine during all my musician years. And this is the first time where that's the focus, really. Our own taste, my own taste, our collective own taste coming through in a project like this. And that also being what people are asking us actively to do, to give more of. Yeah. And very mixed bag in the background, I would say. It's
like the thing is like with JP, like, and with Malik, we can talk about any kinds of music. Like sometimes we just meet and just, hey, I found this record, and like JP has a lot of CDs, and like we listen to Brazilian music or Italian or like anything, and not necessarily to inspire us, but just to share whatever type of music that we find good, which is like limitless.
Yeah, it truly is. I mean, and right now I feel like there's this interesting tipping point happening in the music that we're both choosing and producing for shows and ideas that, again, it's not really sounding like anything that I recognize.
Right.
Which makes me feel really, really good because, what drives me a lot is this sense of something possibly missing that I would like to hear. And if I can't find it, we're going to have to make it ourselves.
Yeah. Moving forward.
Yeah. So whatever sample gold mine or new sound we find, it's probably
mystery box. Yeah, like choosing the samples is like JP has like a lot of samples that we cannot find anywhere else. So it's like we use that for the productions.
I like recording stuff myself. So like if possible, a lot of natural sounds.
Like organic drums or...
Yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of sound banks that I still use, actually, that I've shared with the guys now. So we have this own sound library that are recordings from, early 20s and stuff like this, made years and years ago, banging on stuff in industrial areas at nights or bringing a slingshot and shooting it down a construction tube or something like this and recording the sound.
We just tweak them and
exactly.
make the magic.
And it's irreplaceable, really. I'm not very much a synthesizer guy. I like analog sounds if possible, and then using digital effects to make them into a synthesizer if possible. So that's also something we've been doing a lot now, and we've been like collaborating on production ideas for the first times. It's been a lot of that, not so much kind of ready-made instruments, but more like taking the weirdest analog sample and turning it into something you can make a melody with,
and pushing each other to push each other's creativity, I would say, like, and allowing each other to be ourselves, and pushing that forward. Maybe we can have an idea that the other person doesn't like much, but we push it there, and then we say, oh, but maybe this and that. But the idea is that not not to limit the other person, because that's what like I feel stands out, that we are different, but we support each other and we learn from each other constantly. Yeah.
It sounds nice. It sounds like you've reached a place where you can be kind of vulnerable and share stuff that doesn't necessarily, needs to get out in the end, but you can still feel it out to create a sound.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in life, not only like it's not a working musical project. It's about friendship. Like it wouldn't be like this if we wouldn't be friends.
Yeah.
No, it's true. And it's really nice to hear you say those words out loud. It's a liberating feeling for me, actually, to hear it. That's how it is.
Yeah.
I feel like we can all be, as you say, very vulnerable in this. And not be at all nervous or afraid about presenting an idea or anything like this. Or, I mean, on a personal level, just talking about anything and everything.
Yeah.
That's the first step, I'd say, really. That's,
understanding each other and what we're going through presently in each other's life.
Yeah. That's great if you can incorporate that into music and into a space where people can, enjoy it together.
I feel like that's, for me personally, at least, that's been happening a lot, that whatever I'm going through does get processed into the music, like some kind of weird therapy.
You don't choose it.
No. It comes out the way it does, and it has the color that it does because of, something. Particularly now, the past couple of months, I've been noticing that in all the new ideas. Like, okay, this sounds like how I feel.
Right. Also in the sets when we play live. You can feel in the moment, like, we can totally see, like, if we're all like having not the best day, like we can see it, and also if we are having all a good day, like we can see it. But fortunately, I feel like we all, like, during the gig, we feel always better and better, no matter how we felt before. And after, we are like, oh yeah, this is like the best ever.
True.
That's it.
Yeah, that's happened a couple of times when it's been a really difficult day.
Yeah.
And then everybody arrives at the venue kind of stressed, and it's like, okay, literally put our heads together in a hug, and after that start playing, and half an hour in, it's like three different animals,
That's great.
I gotta say, like, in the first gig we had was on a Monday, and after that I had my whole week was like perfect. Like I felt so good after playing, and then we played again on a Saturday, and then that feeling just stayed for the next week until we played again, and then again and again and again.
And now I'm addicted.
Yeah. It's like musical therapy.
No, but I mean,
I think that's what a lot of people want too. When they go and see your shows, probably they can change their state.
I hope so.
Me too, and I think so. This is what I would choose to go listen to as an audience member. So it's nothing but a privilege and an honor to actually get to play exactly that style. I've been in many situations where I've been playing something that I'm, in the worst case, just skeptical towards. Not exactly enjoying the moment the way I enjoy these moments. This is this feels like we fully get to be us in this project.
And like I always felt the support personally of my band members. Like when I've been feeling like, I'm not playing the best or something, I've always felt like, no, like you got this. And we all help each other in that way. So it's so positive that, like, before I got very nervous when I had a gig solo or with the guys, but after that, like, that has just gone away.
That's amazing.
So I can say it has been very therapeutical for me, like to play. And now, like, I have a gig, it can be alone or like with them, and I feel great and I can enjoy 100%. And it has been purely because of Mondo Village.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
And if people want to see you live soon, do you have any dates lined up, like where they could go and enjoy? Or
25th is the next one.
On this Thursday, we're playing in Plåtparken, Kista,
New place.
from 4 to 8.
4 to 8. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So like afternoon session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After work, that'll
Very
possibly turn into something else. You know?
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. Chill vibes in the beginning, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
we
exactly.
don't know where we're
Where's
gonna
it
end.
going? Yeah. I mean,
We'll
that's
do the
interesting
thing.
though. A new venue as well, so
Yeah.
it can be
Yeah.
nice to check out.
Fantastic.
They're really
yeah.
nice to get the invitation there. And
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, personally, I grew up right around there. I grew up in Husby, so
Mhm.
it's kind of
All
like getting to bring myself back to my original neighborhood.
Right. It's
In a
Blue
musical
Line,
way,
right?
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We want also to play in different neighborhoods, different
Yeah.
places, because like the project is for everyone. That's
Yeah.
what we want.
indeed, indeed. Yeah, it's nice to play outside of the city center for that very reason.
Very true. Very
And speaking of that, also, I mean, another kind of home venue that we've had since the beginning really is Blivande huset and Frihamnstorget. So out in Frihamnen,
true. Yeah.
there's a couple of places there with, I would say our community, you know, the
Yeah.
community that we are part of and the
Yeah.
project really grew out of. I mean, we met there,
Yeah.
we met through these places and through these people.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a couple of things coming up there.
Right.
And also the roof terrace at Slakthuset and
Very nice. That will continue through the
which-
summer.
Yeah. That's what we had our first gig, we can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, our first official Mondo Village gig with the
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
I think must have been Slakthuset.
That
right?
or Frihamnen. We always
Yeah.
have
One of
we're
those,
not completely
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, no.
But the terrace in Slakthuset always has been
Yeah.
there. It's like a very
Home
special
venue
and
for sure.
Like
Mm.
really nice vibe in the afternoon. Yeah.
It's a very nice venue outside as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So this is where people can expect to probably hear like the first versions from the coming EP,
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess.
And have
Absolutely.
already. Have
And
already.
have already, of course, yeah, for months, right? But then they can expect an EP when, like beginning of the autumn, or do you know a little bit, like
I think we can say autumn.
autumn around there? Yeah.
It's
Maybe
gonna
it can be
after the summer,
before or
We will
like
see, a
after,
surprise.
but I think
Mhm.
autumn can be like a
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're being realistic and not too optimistic about
Yeah.
how long these kind of things take.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, I also think like after the summer is pretty much a sure thing.
Yeah.
If it happens faster than that, everybody's happy.
Yeah.
That's another place people can hear this music, by the way. It's Borderland Festival. But if you don't have a ticket already, then you're not going.
Okay, when is that taking place?
That's in the end of July.
End of July
Yeah.
as well.
Everybody who knows about it already
Yeah.
knows. But we will be playing there at a couple of places as well. So, yeah.
Well,
That's
yeah.
awesome. So that's the exclusive place to hear
Right.
the tracks for the first time.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We're gonna post all the gigs. We do it regularly on Instagram.
Mhm.
Probably we're gonna post all of them
So
soon
yes,
as
Mondo
well.
Village on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That's the best place to see your upcoming venues and gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I would say like to find all these collaborations that we have because
Mhm.
it's like again our first EP, but we've also got a couple of tracks in the works with other artists that we
Mhm.
work with, like Nasiri, for example.
Mhm.
So we got one thing in the works with him that will be another release at some time.
Awesome.
So yeah, almost kind of different stylistic
Yeah.
directions in these releases as well, which I really like because it's not uniform in any way.
That's amazing. Guys, thank you so much for coming and telling me about all of your coming stuff. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you out on the gigs this summer.
You will.
Well,
Yeah.
Thank you
So-
and super welcome to all our gigs. As
Yeah,
always.
yeah, really. Thank you
Thank you
again
so
for
much.
the invitation here.
Thank you.
So that's it for this episode of Electronic Talks. Follow us as usual on YouTube, like and subscribe, and also follow these guys on their Instagram on Mondo Village to see the upcoming gigs. Thank you so much.